Good evening, everyone. Late Night Mega here, and tonight will be the final Dominaria United Alchemy draft I'll do. I'll probably still do some more of the regular drafts. So let's hop in here, let's get a table, let's see how things go. I have mentioned last time, we kind of touched on the subject, that a lot of people are frustrated with the Dominaria United draft format. And I think I have found the reason why. I've kind of demonstrated it and pointed out. It's that the games end up being uninteractive. What I mean by that is the games will eventually reach a state where one player will have a combination of cards that the opponent just cannot answer or cannot interact with and will just simply sit there and lose. And there's nothing that can be done about it. And it doesn't really matter how cool your deck is or how good your deck is, or look at all we've got a lot of strong cards in our deck and whatnot. None of it matters. What does matter is we just opened a Mythic, which I'm going to take. That's going to be the pick because I am still Mythic drafting. It's Solkanar the Tainted. It's a pretty decent one. Especially if we get a way that, after it goes to our opponent, we could, bounce it back to our hand. I'm going to take that. If this wasn't here and it was a crap rare, probably take the Nishoba Brawler or the Wandering Treefolk. Both are pretty good. Nishoba Brawler probably slightly better. It is slightly more aggressive. All the good Domain 2 drops are here. So it would definitely be one of those. After all the domain stuff and the land, there's, I guess, the shield wall. If you're one of those players. Now let's see who else is in here. Anybody I know? No. Anti-Humotics. Okay. Academy Lore Master and Trove Mage. That's our rare and Alchemy card. There's a Tolarian Geyser, which is good. There's a Tolarian Terror, which is good. First Terror over First Geyser, I think. It's definitely between those two cards. I'm not really interested in taking the Lore Master. If it comes back around, I'll grab it. Lots of blue cards in that pack. Dang. We'll take the first Terror. The Geyser is a way we could bounce the Solkanar back to our hand. We're not necessarily playing this, but honestly, in this draft format, there's a lot of good cards or playable cards in all the colors, where I feel like if you lock in your colors early, or you take your first picks and then those are the colors you go after that, I feel like you can get punished a lot less for drafting like that. Alright, well this is... once again, we have a way off color dual land if we were going the domain route. The Morale Sergeant has been a really obnoxious card to deal with. So we're going to take that. There's a Citizen's Arrest here. There's Destroy Evil here. Those are decent cards. This is a decent card. I do kind of want to play this if we can. I've had this card played against me once or twice. This is really strong. Especially if it hangs out on the field, or if we have a way we can rebuy it from the graveyard. There's a Tolarian Geyser. Again, passing good green 2-drops. We're not going to be green. Mana Worker would be playable in this deck just to make sure our mana works. Crystal Grotto wouldn't be bad, but I'm not going to take either of those over the first Tolarian Geyser. Not much else here. There's the Flowstone Infusion, but yeah, Geyser's going to be a little bit better than that. We can get maybe sort of a Grixis-y style spell slinging deck. Maybe just splashing black for the Soul Canar. Maybe we end up just splashing the red. Who knows? But the way things are shaping up, blue is shaping up to be like one of our main colors. There's a green-blue duel. Or there's Dragon Whelp. I'm not big on Dragon Whelp. I can take Meteorite. Well, there's a good chance we can find a Meteorite later. Maybe I take the Dragon Whelp. A Tide Pool Turtle? The turtle thing that I said was kind of underrated, and we're still not picking it. I don't know, one nice thing about Dragon Whelp is it can actually trade with those 4 toughness reach creatures that are very prevalent in this format. Very easy for Phyrexian Espionage here. Not a whole lot of... I guess the Warleech would actually be... the Warleech could potentially be decent if we get like more of these Tolarian Terrors in that. But we know Espionage is going to be good, and that goes with the Tolarian Terror. Tolarian Terror, Tolarian Geyser, Phyrexian Espionage. Alright, and we have a Talus Lookout here. Pretty easy lookout. I like the lookout better than the Dragon Whelp for obvious reasons. Bone Splinters, there's the Repossession. But I don't think we're doing that yet at this point. No reason to take anything else. So, again, more good, like, green domainy creatures. We probably could have been the green domainy deck. If the Mythic wasn't there and we didn't start drafting, this... oh, gosh. That is a pick 8 Electrostatic Infantry. Sign me up. And there's a Flowstone Infusion there, too. Yeah, so I think this is going to be a blue-red splashing black for the Soul Canar. Is where this is going. You've had a lot of packs stacked up. GX Verdi. Verdi stacked up on packs. Okay. So we could take Amplifier. We could take Mana Worker. Mana Workers we could get later. I don't think I want to go huge into black, especially with the late infantry we saw there. I'll take the Amplifier. Also interesting how that I don't know how that came back. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just going to take it. I mean, we were debating on picking that the first time it came around. Apparently everybody's trying to draft Domain or something. I don't know what's going on anymore. We have Thrill of Possibility if we need... We have this stuff for card draw, and that's just better. I'll take Filler Creature. Also kind of cut the blue off there. We got the Infusion back. Okay. Wait, you didn't want to just give me another Infusion? I'll take Smash to Dust, but probably won't play. Oh, you didn't want to... Yeah, that's actually playable. Another Mythic Rare that I need. Shivan Devastator. Still only have 2 of those. I've been getting a lot of Mythics in these drafts lately. Again, I'm not complaining about that, because I am still Mythic drafting. I do want to collect the set efficiently. If that wasn't there, I'd probably go for the second Tolarian Terror. Maybe the Bog. Yeah, Terror, Bog, and then Timely Interference would be like my pick order for this. So we'll take the Mythic Dragon and let everybody else fight over the domain stuff. Okay, what does this thing do? 2/2 with Prowess. So that's already fitting into our deck. You may discard a card. If you do, seek a card with greater mana value and exile it until the end of your next turn. I mean, it can just be a 2/2 Prowess for 2, right? Probably a better 2-drop for this deck than this. I don't really need any... Well, kind of do need white kickers, but I'm not going to do that over a rare. Another Morale Sergeant? Imagine just, like, getting extra copies of Shivan Devastator Solkanar crafted or conjured into our deck. That sounds silly. Let's do that. Let's make that happen. Let's make that happen with Impulse. I think we have a lot of good 2-drops. I don't need to prioritize more of the crappy kind of common 2-drops. I need to prioritize getting the mana working. I mean, heck, we almost have a functional deck as it is. We need to prioritize getting the mana working. Take another... And I want to prioritize, like, some cheap spells. Again, kind of staying away from the black. I don't want to stretch the mana too much, especially since we don't actually have any of that yet. I mean, I don't think I'm playing any of this. But I guess if anything, it'll be the Spell Chain Scatter. I've had this card played against me a couple times. Could also Malira's Outrider. Imagine that with the... start getting extra copies of those in. I don't have a reason to need green. Maybe I just take the Mana Worker here. Yeah, I want the mana to work. The Mana Worker is going to make the mana work. Go figure. Yeah, I don't think I need a third infusion here. Probably don't. That could not be bad, because we're kind of aggressive until we get to, you know... And then we got this big stuff. Wait, what does this thing do again? Okay. Cast the next instant or sorcery, conjure a duplicate. If the spell wasn't kicked, you discard that duplicate at the end step. It might actually be playable. Timely Interference. I'm happy to pick one of those up. So for pack 3, we're going to prioritize obviously any of the lands. Preferably like blue black, black red. I'd probably even grab a white black because we have the 2 geysers. If we end up desperate for playables, I still have a couple other things I can throw in the deck right now. Or braids. I mean, we're not going to get much out of the sacrifice. This would just be to return a thing. I was actually going to pick the braids because I could sack this before we have to do the thing. Then again, I can also Firenado my own thing, too, before opponent gets it. Whatever. Enthralled to the pick. Yeah, I guess I'll take that. We don't have to play that either. Almost to pack 3 here, and I'm pretty sure I've got a full set of both of these. We're not playing that. We're so far off from... Okay, well, there's that. Another Tolarian Terror, but I think the pick is going to be the Battle Hymn. We need more... Yeah, we need more instants and sorceries, so I'm going to go with the Battle Hymn. Joyra comes back, we'll rare draft it. Vesuvian Mist could even be usable, but I think it's just going to be the Battle Hymn. I don't think I need another Terror, because we've got a few really good top-end cards, and we probably aren't playing that. I don't really want to play the Whelp either. It's very red intensive. Alright, we need lands and mana workers. Preferably lands. Actually, if we get a decent amount of lands, we could run that Outrider. Probably like that better than the Dragon Whelp. We're kind of lacking in 4-drops, but I think that's mostly fine. Since we are kind of just a spells deck. Alright, well, no land here. There's Academy Wall, or I just start rare drafting. Because this pack does not really interest me, so rare drafting it is. I'll take the Alchemy card. There's also a chance we could get the wall back, or I could even get like the Seascape. I don't mind playing these. They're okay. I mean, it's not amazing. I'd like to replace it, but I don't think it's super crucial that we're not getting land. So I do think I want the Mana Worker over the Figment. Oh wait, we have Micromancer here. Never mind. Because we have a couple of things we can grab with that. So Micromancer's good. I guess... put that back in the deck. Lightning Strike, there we go. Another Haunting Figment, but we're fine on 2-drop. We're absolutely fine on 2-drops, so we can definitely play the Lightning Strike. We'll probably play it over like the... no, not that. The Furious Bellow. Another Mana Worker or Tidepool Turtle. Did I not have a second Mana Worker already? I guess not. So where does that go? I have no idea. Not the land we need. Pixie Illusionist can help us splash the Soul Canar. Or just take another Micromancer. I mean, our blue-red spells theme is certainly open. I'd even settle for a Crystal Grotto at this point. Or I can settle for another Lightning Strike. That's, yeah. Very, very easy Lightning Strike there. Very late into pack 3. And again, we saw the late Electrostatic Infantry in pack 1, so these late Lightning Strikes shouldn't be that surprising. Huh. I don't know that we need to play the monstrosity. Another 2-drop that's relevant for our deck. We're gonna have difficulty making some cuts. Perhaps I just shouldn't play the Soul Canar. Well, the Mana Workers would still be good with these off-color kickers. My issue is, how much am I going to dilute this deck with Mana Workers to play off-color kickers and Soul Canar? That's the question we're going to have to answer in deck building. So, let's see what we got here. Playing 2 swamps and 3 salvage mana workers. Didn't see any of the duels. First, what does this look like if I don't play this stuff? Then I'm looking at Tolarian Terror for the top end. Or maybe we just kind of go to town with some of our aggressive 2-drops. I have the Shivan Devastator as well. I mean, I still have to make 3 cuts from this. Probably looks like that. We have 1 double blue card, but that's our only double blue? How many creatures do we have? 11? Okay, that's not bad. Very spell-slingy. Alternatively, if we were putting Soul Canar in the deck, I don't think we suddenly start playing these other things we cut, other than salvaged mana workers. which help us with our off-color kickers. It's just a matter of where does this stuff go. I don't know that we need the Fire Nado. That gives us 4 black sources. And can also help with the double blue on the lookout. I think I cut a Micromancer from this. Just because, hear me out, the 1 mana spells we can get from it aren't super impressive. And then I cut... I think 728 is correct for the mana. That also gives me access to the kickers here to gain life. I would really like a Rona's Vortex to get this back to our hand. Because it would go to our opponent at the end step, and then I guess that's a sorcery and we buy it back, so they'd get like 1 turn with it. Assuming we haven't already won the game by the time we do all that. I want to play Solkanar. It's not often we get to play with the Mythics. I do need 1 more cut. Or... could this be one of those weird instances? This is a thing I used to do, like, I would do it like almost every time, like I would play Sealed at my local game store. And I started doing it here when I was doing Magic Online, and I revisit the idea every once in a while. And the idea is this. We play 17 lands, because we still want 17 instead of 16, but we play a 41 card deck. I think we might do that here. I think that's exactly what we're gonna do. It's either that or I cut. I mean, it seems a little odd. This could almost even get us our Solkanar. Like, we discard like a Micromancer or something, and then we're either getting Solkanar or Tolarian Terror off of it. That was an interesting interaction. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with this. And we'll just see how things work out. Oops, do need 3 of those. Yeah, this is the I want to play Solkanar deck. So let's see how that goes. I think the blue, just going straight blue-red, might be better. Again, we're also going to have access with the 2 mana workers. We're going to have access to our off-color kickers, which are all white. One, we have the black Phyrexian Espionage. We also don't have an opponent. So while we don't have an opponent, take this moment to like, comment, subscribe quickly. You're out of time. We're up against Hyuta. We have to subscribe at another moment. Well, this is keepable. Opponent is mulliganing twice, which is kind of a good sign for us, but it also might turn into a very uninteractive game. We have both of our mana workers. I don't want both of our mana workers. I'm going to play them. I want both of our mana workers. We have Soul Canar on deck. It's here. We just need 5 lands. That needs to die. Well, actually, it doesn't need to die yet. Replay that, opponent. Try again. I just wanted to make sure we get land drops. Definitely want the land drops. Play it again. This is a good combo here. Thank you for replaying that. Next land, we have Soul Canar. I can also just shiv in Devastator. I'd also just bounce their next thing. Well, I can't bounce anything there. I think if we get a land, we do play the Soul Canar, and we just go for the quick win. And just try to punish them for being slow, because then I can also amplify or kick it, or we do nothing. We do none of that. Man, I would love to get the discard there, but it's... Okay, this is not okay. I can also Flowstone Infusion the token thingy that comes. Wandering Tree Folk, sure it is. Never mind, I'm gonna Flowstone Infusion that. Okay, Tolarian Terror. I could also Devastator for 3. I think Terror is just better here. I know I'm not playing Shiv and Devastator for 1. Congratulations, you have a 5/6 Vigilance Trample. You can hit me for 5. I don't block. I mean, I know I've said that these games are kind of uninteractive, decisions don't really matter, but this decision, you don't block. Okay, it does matter, but it's kind of like a duh decision. Opponent, that's rude. This is also rude. Oh, cancel, cancel. I was going to attack with that as well. Yeah, I'll take another Tolarian. Who cares if I only drafted 1 Terror? Yeah, who didn't see these chump blocks coming? Oh, what do I want to do here? I guess I can play an Amplifier. Soul Canar? I just need a land to play Soul Canar. I could also have a hasty Tolarian Terror next turn. It's somewhere within the top 5 cards. Seeking a creature. Bold move. I feel like that wasn't the correct idea. Never mind. He found one. Oh, nope, I found this. Yeah, you gotta block something. Yeah. That's kind of how that was just destined to go. Opponent did mulligan down to 5 there. Alright, next game. We didn't get to cast the Soul Canara. It just got to look nice in our hand. How many mythics does this put me up to for Dominaria Unite? I know, like, last time I did a count, it was before the previous few drafts. I must be up to, like, 22 mythics or something now. $23, I think? Yeah. Harrison G. Why not? Because there's a Flowstone. We have things we can play. I am so going to copy another Shivan Devastator into this deck. Ooh, here's that. Let's just do it. Get another Shivan Devastator somewhere in the top 5. Yeah, you're gonna block that. I've learned that you need to kind of stop that from happening. Goblin Influx Array. Well, that just means we need to kill our opponent quickly. And we have the cards to do it. Wow. That's that's happening. Skirk Prospector for free. We're going to bounce that thing. That is not a thing that is going to concern us. Should I look for a... That's so risky. Risky. Too risky. Let's just bounce it. Bounce it and be done with it. We got a mountain. So I could just bounce it again. Which seems like the correct play. Yeah, it is definitely the correct play, because they're going to tap 4 mana to cast that. Then we bounce it, and then we swing for 6, and we win. What did I say? What did I say? Actually, I should... Doesn't matter. It doesn't... Get that out of here. You get your whatever. I kick this. I bounce that. I attack you for 6. Now that was pretty devastating. You know, we talked about that play during the drafting process of getting a duplicate Devastator. I'm glad we got to do that. Wandering Mind, well, that goes to my Vault progress. 31.5%. Alright. Alright. But yeah, that was just another game where, you know, my opponent played a 4/4 and I just bounced it a couple times and I won. Magical objects. This seems to be the thing now. We're not playing Devastator for 0. That's silly. No attacks, because I don't want to ram that into the thing yet. Part of me feels like I just kill this. But then do I play Devastator for 1? That should be better than Mana Worker, right? I'm gonna get another Devastator. Let's do it. I don't care if this Devastator has 1 power. One Devastator for 1 is the play, thank you. And I also threatened to get another Devastator next turn, and that's why I did this. I also bounce their next play and conjure another Devastator. This is stupid. Oh, this is so dumb. This card can just get out of hand. Like, who cares if I played 1 Devastator as a 1/1? I'm getting another Devastator. Well, that doesn't block. Unless you have a pump spell here. You do not. Okay, cool. Let's just get another Devastator. I do need some lands to cast these Devastators and make them a little bit better. Fair enough. Electrostatic Infantry. I feel at some point I should stop doing this, but I can't help it. I can't help it. Infantry? Do you want to counter that too? No? Okay. Silver Scrutiny, drawing 2. Play a creature so I can get an extra card draw here, please. You do realize why that doesn't work, right? Oh, hey. I really feel like I should just play some of these. This is ridiculous. Just absolute silliness. Okay, sure. Oh, hey. Check it out. We're gonna do this thing again. Enlist. Oh, cancel. Wait. I have to attack with that too. Okay. I also noticed there's a pop-up message here that says, you know, do you want to enlist? Or how many creatures you're enlisting? It looks like a really weird text pop-up. You guys noticed that? That was changed for like some new edition. It was just very odd. This back to your hand. Oh, look, I drew a Devastator. This is so dumb. Yeah, we have lethal here. Unless you have timely interference. Okay. You have timely interference. That's fine. I mean, it's not like I have another Shivan Devastator in my... Oh my gosh. Sure, you have that. And there's a 3/3. Oh, but you made it the 3/3 tapped. Sorry about that. That was in your defense. Well, no, you could have played that. You'd have 3/3 blockers in the air. You could have survived. At least one more turn. As I draw, like, my third Devastator. DD Avop. Let's see, that was another game where it just kind of didn't matter. Well, this works because we have Impulse and Mana Worker, so sure. Opponent, blue, black, green. Okay, so at least Sultai, it's... It's Domain! Who didn't see that coming? Play the infantry here. Not gonna block. Because if there's a pump spell or a tribute to Urborg, we're kind of devastated. Iconoclast. We're gonna take a beating this turn, because I'm not blocking anything. But next turn, like, I can Impulse and maybe even Lightning Strike. I should be able to do both. All our lands come in untapped. But this turn's gonna get a little bit rough. Little Impulse here. Infusion isn't even bad, but I want red. Mana Open, which scares me. I'll block the Tree Folk if they want to attack with it. I think. And then if there's pumps or something, we have Lightning Strike. Okay, so no attack there. That's the good news. Let's strike this. Because if there's a pump, they're still only saving one thing. I think. There's a pump. Or you could just seek the creature. 3 mana. Yeah, you could just pay 5 and seek the creature. I wouldn't mind that at all. Because they'd lose both their creatures here. Tricky decisions. tricky decisions, but I think ultimately it might not matter. Air tie resurrected, killing my infantry. Okay. Wasn't what I was expecting. I'm not going to block that. I don't want to bounce that thing. This'll do. I can... Do I just want to... I just want to kill the both of those. So I don't... No, I do need to kick, because I only have one more red after this. Okay. And we're going to do this now. Start by killing that. Because I'm less upset about this thing being saved. Let's go for it. Okay, no pump spell. There could be tribute to... Or not tribute to Urborg. I mean, there could be tribute to Urborg, but Urborg repossession. I'll just kind of have to deal with that, if that's the case. Opponent, let's just not do that, okay? Just try again. I can easily play this thing with Kicker, too. Which... Although if I don't kick it, I can play the Lookout on the same turn. Oh, but is the Lookout... I think Lookout's worth playing here. Get in for some damage, get a Lookout. Now we're kind of stuck. What do we need? That's interesting. Because now there's no more Braid's Frightful Return. Getting back your air tie? No, getting back that. Okay. That was bad. Because this turn's going to be really rough for us. I'm not interested in sacking anything. We just might be dead next turn. Because we just drew a blank there. An opponent has 5 cards in hand. So yeah, the 3 extra life didn't really matter. I could Lightning Strike to kill that regardless of what gets blocked, and then I'm not dead. And if there's no blocks, 3, 6, 9, 10, I just win. Oh, how about that? There's blocks. Alright, yeah. We're just gonna strike that down. And then these things all trade off. That's probably about the best we could have hoped for here. Now let's find, like, I don't know, Soul Canar. No, all this stuff happens. You don't have protection. No, don't do it. We just lose. Yep, we lose now. I mean, there it is. Alright. Three damage. Kill this. It's a 7-8. Any pump, we're dead? You got a pump? You got a pump. Of course. It didn't matter. Because if I had blocked and lost Soul Canar, they have other stuff, and we have nothing. So. Like I said, decisions largely do not really matter in this format. It's just play your cards, have as much fun as you can, and if you're losing due to the non-interactivity of the games, and it's just who gets the more combination of cards that the opponent just can't answer. But hey, at least I got to cast the Soul Canar. Yeah, we were gonna lose that anyway with the second take up the shield there. Seaver 99. That's such a weird avatar. Oh, hey, we got this thing. We'll keep it. Oh, beginning of your pre-combat main phase. No blocks. Can you not do that? I can discard this. Oh, we have extra land. Until the end of your next turn, I may play it. Okay. So, I don't need to play that right now. Now we get another one of those things. Let's see where this goes. Okay, so we're playing the race game, apparently. I should just concede here. There's nothing we could have done about that. Micromancer. Like, if I play the espionage now, we just dead. We're just dead anyways. Again, nothing I could have done about this card. It's just who has the stuff that gives them that the opponent can't deal with first. This isn't doing anything. And I might need red, red, red. Yeah. Red. 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 Maybe I shouldn't have done that right away. Because I can't quite cast that. Whatever. Do I attack here? Probably not. Because now they just get back the Green Widow and then they still have 2 casts of it. Can't really afford to lose more life here. Kill my Tolarian Terror and they win. I mean, I guess that's a trade, and that's gonna come back. And that's going to do nothing. Lion Shaper Prodigy. I have that. Play that. Thing is, I have to block here. I can't not block. Alright. Splatter Goblin. Okay, so I can bounce that again. Can't really attack here because opponent just wins this race. Totally going to block. I gotta risk it. That comes back. If there's removal for this, we just lose instantly. Okay, we don't lose instantly. Alright. We're still basically lost because I can't answer this. Was this just black-green? Maybe he just didn't find his, domain. For 7? I think I attack here. Because Flowstone and Fusion, I can win next turn? Of course, we're dead to a removal, but, you know, we've been dead to a removal for, like, several turns now. Bone Rattle. Well, we're definitely dead to that. We're not quite dead. Solkanar. Do I attack? Oh, I should have attacked. That doesn't have trample. Well, if I attack, they have to block. I think I just kill the... Kill that. I have good blocks here. Yeah, I think that was correct. I mean, again, any removal spell... Okay. I'll draw a card. Impulse. Okay. I gotta get something here because our opponent's going to quickly get... I'll take the Battle Hymn. Yep, you do that. And that goes away. Okay, this will be quite the comeback if this happens. Next turn, though, is going under my opponent's control. So, what do you have? Can you stop a 5/5? Please don't stop a 5/5. I think we win. Let the damage go through. Strike your face! Strike your face! Okay. That was a good game. That was really... I thought that was lost for sure. Dang, that was really close. That's probably the best, one of the best games I've had this entire draft format. I think it's right to play Solkanar. I think so. I think yeah, we'll keep it. We're at 4 wins, so this is not going poorly. Kanta. Sure. Obviously, it took both our mythic rares and nearly losing this game like 4 times in order to survive, but well, sometimes we get there. I'm going to do this. It lets us attack. It plays around Essence Scatter that our opponent could have. Okay, that's fine. Our opponent was going to do that anyways. Phyrexian Rager. It's all the rage. What do I want to search up here? Spell Chain, Timely Timely? Yeah, probably Timely. So I can make something inconveniently block. I can also play this thing, discard a land, and I'm guaranteed to get a spell out of it. That's not an awful idea. Because this is at the beginning... Oh, beginning of your pre-combat main... Okay, so we can't quite do that yet. Alright, sure. Problem is I don't have a follow-up to that. I don't want the Lookout getting countered, though. So let's go with the Ember Coiler. Because I'm pretty sure there's a counter spell here. Yeah. Called it. But I didn't want to get the Talos Lookout countered. Because we're up against blue-black, we want to be having more cards than them. Opponent drew 2 extra cards and didn't get a land drop out of it. I know the feeling. I've had that happen a couple of times lately with Phyrexian Espionage or with Shadow Prophecy. That happened a little bit in our last draft. I don't mind discarding, I just don't like my opponent. Shivan Devastator would be an amazing draw. I'm going to hold on to the land in case there's another Espionage. Unfortunately, I didn't really have a way to punish that. Because all my stuff is, like, depending on them having, you know, things. Things that they don't have. Phyrexian Rager. That's all the rage. I could aggressively bounce that and ping him again. That's not the play. In no world could that be the play. I do want the rest of your lands to tap. Oh, you're gonna attack with your 0/3. You might attack with your 0/3, you're not sure. Do you have a counter? Please just don't have a counter. If you choose not to attack, don't have a counter. Or you play a Gibbering Barricade. Okay, sure. Well, this is kind of a problem now. Black mana. I think we just gotta bounce that, slow this down a little bit. Well, there's that. Forget slowing this down. Let's speed this up. So next turn we can Devastator for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Attacking for 10. There's white in this deck too? Oh gosh, it's the Defender deck. Oh gosh, I should have recognized this. No! No! Just no stupid... that thing. I hate that card. I don't think I'd bother infusing that. I feel like, because we're not going to 3/6, let's just kill this. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll be good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Now, granted, there's going to be some more of these flyers, but okay. Okay. There's at least one more bird. Dang it, I didn't want you to have the Wingmantle Chaplain. I hate playing against this deck, it's so uninteractive. And why doesn't Shivan Devastator have Trample? Do not kill my Devastator. It's supposed to devastate you, not devastate me. Actually, can I get the goblin thing that lets me get more Devastators? Can I get that? Because that would be cool. The opponent is stalling for time, and that's the problem. Like, I can't stop my opponent from doing any of this. Oh gosh, of course, there's so many. This is just good Esper deck with Defenders, surplus, bonus. Doesn't play that. Okay. Well, ask and you shall receive. Oh, that's Impulse. Spell Chain Scatter? Like, I could force that thing to block. And maybe I do just that. Maybe I don't even attack with this. Oh, I can't be right. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13... Okay, so we're not dead next turn. If that tries to block, we could just do that. Oh, actually, I could force that thing to block. Ew, that would be even better. But I can't do that right now. What I can do right now... Or do I just enlist this and try and get another... That was actually a tough decision. I think we're going to go with this route. Opponent doesn't block. I'm not going to be dead this turn, am I? There's the barricade. And there's another thing. But I can totally force the Terror to block... Well, I can't force the Terror to block that anymore. If I find an answer... No, because... I think we don't block this turn. I could still force something else to block the Sergeant. But not if they have 3 mana up. That's not helping. That helps. Okay, well, Shivan Devastator has to be blocked. I could just get another Talus Lookout. Which wouldn't feel bad. Opponent just discards whatever to the... And then I play Solkanar? Do I get another Talus Lookout, or do I just... I don't think I can tap everything here. I'm gonna... Okay, you're gonna sack. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's right. Okay. No more of this. Oh, stop, opponent. I guess I just get rid of this. I'm not ready to block with Solkanar yet. There's more value to be had. And there's still the drain for 2. Dang it. That's why I wanted that stupid bird thing gone. What if I just draw a card? What if I just draw 2 extra cards? Because if I kill... If I can kill 2 birds, we just... We can go for this. If you want to stop me from drawing... That kills 1 bird. We win. Well, that kills everything. Okay, everything is dead. 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 Just die everything. Stupid defender deck that can barely be interacted with. Yeah, you do that. You do that. I don't care. I don't care. Die, defender deck. Die. I have lightning strike. I have drain on this. Yeah, okay. There. Take that, defender deck. Take that. How many mythic rares does it take to beat the defender deck? Apparently the answer is 2. Shivan, Devastator, and Solkanar. Hey, we're at 5 wins. Alrighty. Lester Eugene? Need a, well, I don't have red, but red is like our most plentiful land in the deck, so... And we have this. Never mind, I have red. I have red, I have everything I need. Herbalist. We're just gonna force that to block. And it's gonna be the saddest Herbalist ever. That was good for us. Micromancer, we can go get... Go get another infusion. That's all we can get with it. Oh, which I'm fine with here. We're not under any, like, major threat. Yeah, we're gonna take action. Get our last infusion. No attacks. Say go. I'll take 3 here. I'm not gonna block. I'm not gonna, do anything else. Because infusion just kills the Cavalier anyways. These are interesting looking. Where are these from? Oh, these are Dominaria United lands. Alright, cool. Yep, you can do that. No blocks. You're good. That's kind of scary. Oh, opponent also gets to see our hand. I picked Flowstone Infusion, of course. I could, like, copy and get another Impulse. I don't think that's the play. Let's just Impulse here. And the rest go to the bottom. Boo-hoo! There's no way that this thing's trading with the Micromancer. I just want to play Solkanar and kill this. My other Devastator. This is so sad. This is just the saddest thing you've ever seen. And there's no way you're attacking if you don't have a trick. But if there's like a take up the shield or something here, I'd rather have it now. So when I draw my next land, next turn, I can play the Solkanar. Get the trick out of your hand. Or just have the trade. I'm fine with that. Tribute to Urbort. Okay. It's not quite what we were... Well, I guess I didn't want to take up the shield, because then Solkanar's thing doesn't... play another creature. Darn you. I don't really need the mana worker anymore. I do need my opponent to stop having stuff for a moment, because I've been kind of getting stalled out having to make these suboptimal plays because I haven't been getting my lands. I could double block the Cavalier to save on damage. Actually, next turn I can just battle him, kill that, and then Flowstone Infusion becomes online. We're probably going to kill the Amplifier anyways, because if we're honest, that's the more scary card in a bottle. Let's do that. I gotta get less damage here. Like, I can win the long game of this. And even if I don't get to kick the battle hymn, that's not the biggest deal in the world. It's just a trade. Just kill my amplifier. Or kill my mana worker, I don't care. Just don't have a way to stop me from killing your board. If opponent taps out, I might just play Soul Canar. I gotta be careful with Soul Canar, though. It's still kind of early. Yes. Dang it. Well, that was the take up the shield. But wait. Oh, that thing is 3/3 now. But opponent's also tapped out. I can... Let's do this properly, shall we? Actually... Do I have enough? Because this will go 3 to 2. No, I don't. Okay. Double infusion. But I guess in case there's a heroic charge here, I need to try and play around that. I can kill the Cavalier later. I don't care about the Cavalier. I can even block the Mana Worker and infusion the Cavalier. That doesn't matter. But I might need to infusion 2 of the tokens if there's like a massive attack with everything here. Alright, the fact we're not attacking with everything, that's a good sign. And I think it's a sign I just want to keep... Like, I know that's bad. It looks bad, but I have a Terror and a Soul Canar we can play next turn. How bad could it possibly be? And then we double a Lightning Strike. Yeah, this is good. We're good. We're fine. Yeah, I have Soul Canar the Tainted. He's upset with you. Or you can just destroy my evil. I mean, that's fine too. I still have, like, double Lightning Strike coming up. Oh my gosh. With the Captain's Call. Okay. Kick that. Bounce a token. Opponent could start attacking here. 5 times 3 is 15. I'd still be taking a lot of damage. Phalanx, well, that's going to get bounced. Didn't really need that. Maybe I should be attacking here. I get something going here. Okay, there's attacks. That must have been some sort of non-land card. Okay, I'm fine with this. As long as there's no silliness with the, Oh, there we go. I feel like we do this first. Enlist. I'm going to make more of these. I can't have more Shivan Devastators. I'll have more Tolarian Terrors. We do that. Do you want to block? Ooh, I would have recommended blocking, but that's just, you know, me. I don't want the auto tapper to screw this up, so do this. Bounce that. Gain 3. That was not another Tolarian Terror, but there will be one coming. I feel like... Oh, no, we are still doing this. Now I kind of have to be careful, unless I get the other terror. Yuck. Stop having things, please. I'm trying to win. Oh, hey, I found it. How about that? Okay, Mana Worker goes under the Phalanx bus. I suppose it doesn't need to, but there's nothing else it can do in this deck. I've cast all the geysers already. Do I make another... I feel like I do. And I know a token is just gonna... A token was just going to block the terror anyways. But now there's no good attacks unless there is a trick. This game is just a matter of, does our opponent draw the heroic charge? I do have to keep attacking, though. Ah, we're so close. Shivan Devastator would win us the game. Alright. And Devastator's at the... towards the bottom of our deck. Oh, it's the very bottom. Dang it. Oh, look what I found. We're dead to heroic charge, so let's not do this. I know that had haste and everything. I was just wondering if they were going to go for a party block to get rid of it. I was also considering, you know, letting them attack with stuff and then, like, play that with haste. That's a good card. I gotta block 2 of them, so with less and less tokens, I'm getting less and less concerned about the thing. Also, this land is about to turn into something in here. You get an attack, I'm not gonna... Okay, alright, cool, we got there. Opponent wasn't getting anything. Of course, there were several turns if opponent had heroic charge. There's nothing I could have done. In that instance, they got to sit there and just lose instead of us sitting there and losing. Ooh, a rare card reward. Okay, upgrades. We're 6-in-1 with this deck. Okay, so Soul Canar was a really good idea. That's what we have concluded here. Actually, before we get into the final match, I got to take a short break. So, video editing magic, go. Alright, I also thought of something. Another way we could get around, like, the final Soul Canar thing, where our opponent would get it, is if we conjure a duplicate of it early enough, and we end up getting the duplicate before we have to give it to our opponent, then we just play the duplicate, get rid of the original one, and then we get to do the whole thing all over again. That's so dumb. New life goal. Let's see if we can make that happen. We're also 1 win away from another 7-win. Like, I don't necessarily feel that this deck is better than the one we had a couple drafts ago where we went 2-3. 2 of those losses we had were just... We kept completely reasonable hands, and we just got mana screwed and never saw a third or fourth land. Though this deck has felt pretty good. And then this happens. I go first, and I cannot cast a thing. This is a joke. Mulligan to 5 on the play. We basically auto-lost this. I'm not going to use that effect. Splatter Goblin. Decline that. If there's an attack here, obviously we're not blocking. I don't really care to trade any of my 2-drops for Splatter Goblin, especially when I'm already so far down on cards. Obviously going to arrest our thing, so... Okay, well that can't get us out of any potential mana screw situations. No blocks. Because I would have discarded a land there. Now, because if there's like a Cavalier coming up, I'd rather infusion that. Alright, Phyrexian Rager. All the rage, as we know. Yeah, just keep giving our opponent 2-for-1s when we mulligan to 5. I mean, there's no way we win this, right? I mean, of course, you always have games that can end up like this, where you have to mulligan to 5 on the play, and then you just lose because, you know, your opponent can trade off stuff, and it doesn't matter what they have. It's just, we have nothing. We could draw a Soul Canar here. Or we could draw an island. Pretty sure I have to trade this for probably the Night Counselor. Yeah, I can't take all this damage. I can't really afford what's going on with this. Hey, you're a little bit late there. I wish I could have done the thing. I was going to draw an extra card. Okay. Never mind, we lose. I mean, we're trying, but it's not going particularly well. Stop! Oh gosh, and that thing has a boon. Oh wait, we're just dead to... yeah. They have too many creatures. That was an uninteractive game just because we had to mulligan to 5 on the play. One island in that first opening hand, we could have kept it, and probably would have been good. Yeah, this works. Tolarian Terror. All this Tolarian stuff. We've got Lightning Strike for perfect target. The piece of crap knight that I don't like. Espionage. I'm going to play that here. Make sure we hit our land drops. Things are going okay. This is a Soul Tender. Do I want to Lightning Strike that, or I could bounce that, make him just replay it and mill more? Or I could just look for an I think we'll go for the infusion route. Who am I kidding? I don't have counter spells. Would I just strike this? Yeah, that's fine. There's nothing in the graveyard anyways. That stuff isn't worth anything. I mean, it's not worth bouncing, is what I'm getting at here. So let's just play Terror. Our one and only. Please don't kill it. It's like my only thing that I'm doing for a while. Okay, well, that's not killing my Terror. Soul Canar. Why don't we just... make sure this stays bounced for a few turns. I'll attack because this is a race we kind of win. And maybe we'll find another actual answer to that. You want to play it again? You don't want to play it again. Well, that's fine. I'm going to play the Solkanar. That'll teach you. Yeah, you can get some scries. Play both of these, actually. Let's just start by killing things. Kill that. Yeah, you can scry again. I don't care. I might care. I can also just bounce our thing the turn before. We have plenty of... Okay, never mind, it's dead. That's fine. I'll trade Splatter Goblin for the thing. Yeah, trading is fine here because I have geysers. Scried it to the top. Oh look, it's back. Oh, that's kind of gross. Amplifier. I think I'll offer the trade. Not this. I'll offer this trade. Okay. Because I can +2/+2, that's only 5. Yep. And a warhorse not kicked. And you're gaining life. Stop gaining life. Gaining life is obnoxious. Let's start bouncing things and see what we get. No, that's not helpful. Oh, I should have kept that. Oh, gosh. Such a fool. Let's just do this. Trade amplifier for warhorse? Yeah, I'll offer that. That's fine. I should have kept the land in hand, because I could have discarded it and gotten anything else. Oh, that's really bad. Battle him. I guess I gotta bounce that. I don't like doing that. I do have battle him on the Ilkor. I'm gonna wait to do that. See what we get here. I might still lose this yet. I don't know if we necessarily made an error somewhere. How did I know I was going to get Mana Worker? Okay. Okay. I don't need to use Battle Hymn yet. Oh, that piece of crap's going to attack me, isn't it? That's not better. Alright. I kill this. This grows, this grows. Alternatively, I could kill this with that. Block that thing. And just bank on this getting something. Otherwise, I'm not really killing that. I like the idea of killing that. Can't possibly win next turn, but... like, we have Flowstone Infusions to stop this thing. We'll play that. But I can't really attack here, can I? Attack back with tokens. I think that's fine. We're not attacking back with tokens because it's just... stop having stuff. So much stuff. I think we're just gonna lose no matter what now. You're a bit late. But of course we just lose... lose to a lot of stuff. We just lose. It does not matter what we do. Maybe it does. And this literally kills their entire board. Except the Vivisector that we now lose. Oh! Darn it! They got the pump before. Okay. Yeah, it didn't matter. Didn't matter. Opponent had a lot of scry triggers off the Vivisector. That's probably what caused the victory. We weren't able to really say. We didn't get enough out of our Soul Canar there. Why does it feel like every time I take a break and come back, I end up just like going loss, and done? Well, whatever. Can't be too upset with 6 wins, double mythics. We had some really silly shenanigans with this thing and Shivan Devastator. Soul Canar was good. I think that was definitely worth the splash. And the Mana Workers, you know, being able to get these kickers. I definitely think that was better than just the straight-up blue-red version we would have had, which would have been, you know, minus those 3 things and plus, I don't know, Micromancer, Dragon Well. Yeah. Soul Canar is better. Mana Worker, I'm kind of liking this card now. It's been very decent at its job here of fixing mana for kicker stuff. Yeah, that's all I got to say about the deck. Cool deck, got a great win rate. Can't complain too much about that. It's just like when we lose, or even when we win, is just who can get the stuff that your opponent can't answer, and who can get that first. And then the other player just sits there and loses to it over the course of a few turns. That's kind of how the games in Dominaria United have felt, whether it's the Alchemy or not. Well, this is the last Alchemy draft, so I guess next we'll do some regular Dominaria United stuff. We're also going to have there'll be Throne of Eldraine coming up soon. There'll be like a week. The premiere event for that will be like out for a week. And I'll definitely try and do a few of those drafts. It's probably going to be around 5 or 6, just based on my my schedule and availability and whatnot. But yeah, anyways, for now, I'll take my leave.